Someone told me that my wife was seen walking and holding hands with a man. When I confronted her, she denied everything and said the person who told me disliked her. She's 36, I'm 40, and we've been together for 5 years, married just last year. Our relationship has had its rough patches, but overall, we've been fairly happy. Last Friday, she went out for Christmas drinks with her coworkers and came home around midnight, absolutely drunk. She said she had a good time, then went straight to bed. The next day, I got a message on Instagram from an anonymous account, supposedly one of her colleagues, claiming my wife had been flirting all evening with a guy from the office and had left with him around 9 p.m. According to the message, this coworker had a few more drinks before heading to the train station, where she saw my wife walking through the station at 10:45 p.m., hand in hand with the same man. When I asked my wife about it, she said she couldn't remember anything past 8 p.m. due to how drunk she was. I questioned whether she went somewhere with the guy, and she checked her phone's location history, which showed she had gone to a bar near the station for about an hour and then reached the station around 10:40 p.m. She gave me her phone to look through. I didn't find any suspicious messages or contacts. She doesn't have his number saved, and they aren't connected on any social media platforms. When I asked if she was flirting, she admitted they talked a lot because they shared similar interests, but insisted it wasn't anything romantic. She'd mentioned this guy before, describing him as someone she gets along with. As for holding hands, she said she didn't remember doing so but didn't think it happened. She believes the message came from a coworker who dislikes her but isn't sure why. Since then, she's been in a foul mood, and we haven't really spoken. When she came home from work on Monday, she said she talked to the guy, Tom, who confirmed they didn't hold hands, just linked arms because she was drunk and wearing heels. I asked why someone would go to the trouble of creating a fake Instagram account to claim otherwise. She said it was likely Helen, a colleague who had a thing for Tom but had been rejected, and who might be jealous of their friendship. I asked why she and Tom went off on their own. She said Tom mentioned a live band playing at a bar they passed by, so they stopped in for a drink. Her only regret, she claimed, was drinking too much too early. Then, the next day, she went shopping after work and came home with a new dress. When I asked what it was for, she said the previous outing was just for her office, but the company-wide Christmas party was coming up and she'd already mentioned it. I couldn't sleep that night. The following day, I replied to the anonymous Instagram account, asking if they thought something was going on between my wife and Tom. The person, likely Helen, responded with a long message saying the two flirt at work and everyone notices. Apparently, my wife was nearly let go, but Tom vouched for her and constantly defends her. She also claimed my wife complains about our relationship to the whole office and says we're clearly unhappy. When I asked if Helen would be at the Christmas party, she said yes and promised to let me know if anything happened. That Friday, my wife left work early to get ready. She looked stunning, and although I didn't want her to go, I didn't feel like I could stop her. Around midnight, I got another message from the anonymous account saying my wife and Tom hadn't interacted at the party but had both shown up at a different bar around midnight. She got home at 2 a.m., less drunk this time, and went straight to bed. I pretended to be asleep. Later, I checked her phone's location history. After leaving the venue, she made a 3-mile detour to a residential street, stayed there for about 30 minutes, then went to the bar. I sent the address to Helen, who responded the next morning saying it was Tom's house. When my wife woke up, I asked directly if she had cheated on me with Tom that night. She strongly denied it. When I brought up that I knew she'd been to his house, she accused me of spying and being controlling. She said she was going to stay with her sister and, after some back and forth, admitted she'd gone to his house to smoke a joint before heading to the bar, then stormed out. She ignored my messages and calls all day Sunday. When I contacted her sister, she said she hadn't seen her, but later texted that she had spoken with her and she was okay. On Monday morning, my wife came back, and when I asked where she had been, she simply said she couldn't do this anymore and wanted a divorce. While she packed some clothes, I asked if she was leaving me for Tom. She once again denied anything inappropriate had happened between them but said my jealousy was the final straw. According to her, I don't trust her, I'm controlling, and I take her for granted. She said she'd been unhappy for a long time and left. Now she's gone, and it looks like I'll be spending my first Christmas alone. I still don't know if she was being honest or if she had an affair. Oddly enough, I didn't feel as bad as I thought I would. Maybe that's a sign it's for the best. Once she left, she blocked me on all social media and wouldn't return any of my calls or messages. I ended up traveling across the country to spend Christmas with my parents. On Christmas Eve, she came home briefly to take more of her belongings. I saw her through our home security cameras. I tried calling her again, but she didn't answer. My parents were stunned and couldn't believe it. They had no idea we'd been having problems. When Sam left, her sister assured me she was okay, though she didn't offer any details. Everyone, including her family, assumed she'd come to her senses and return eventually. I was the only one saying she'd probably met someone else. I got back home on the 27th, alone. We had originally made plans to spend New Year's Eve at her favorite bar in the city. I went anyway, hoping, maybe, she'd show up. She didn't. On Tuesday night, I received a message on Instagram from Helen. She told me that Sam and Tom had arrived at work together in his car. I didn't reply. The next night, Helen sent another message claiming Sam was turning the office against her and that Tom was pushing higher-ups to get Helen transferred or fired. She was desperate and pleaded with me to step in. I sent Sam a text, asking to talk. She didn't respond. So, the next day, I called her office, gave a fake name, and got through to her. She sounded less than thrilled to hear from me, but agreed to meet after work at a pub nearby. I got there early. She showed up 25 minutes late. She apologized for ignoring my messages and said she still cared about me and wanted to end things on good terms. I asked her to be honest. She insisted nothing had happened between her and Tom while we were still together. She admitted they talked often but denied it was an emotional affair. She said I should have trusted her after she denied it the first time. According to her, I had always made her feel like she couldn't have male friends because I'd get jealous, even though I never asked her to stop seeing anyone. I told her that, but she said I'd get distant or moody whenever she spent time with another guy. She told me she believed we got married just to fix a relationship that was already falling apart. Our conversations had become dry, disconnected. She admitted that after I accused her of cheating, she left and stayed at Tom's. She said that's when she realized our relationship was over. They spent the weekend together and decided they were a better fit than she and I ever were. She wanted me to hear it directly from her before I found out through social media. Tom was outside waiting in his car. I couldn't say anything. I just walked out. Later, she texted, telling me not to do anything reckless. I blocked her number. That night was brutal. The next day, I felt numb. I didn't leave the house all weekend. I found our marriage certificate so I could start the divorce process. I haven't replied to Helen, still don't know what to say to her. I'm planning to move back closer to my hometown and find a job there. I've never felt truly at home in this city. And I definitely don't want to risk running into Sam and Tom. That probably wraps things up unless something unexpected happens. Thanks for sticking with me. Later, I made another post. Things got complicated again. Sam's pregnant now. She told a friend that I'm the father, which can't be true, unless she used our final frozen embryo without my permission. That would mean either the clinic failed to get my consent, or she somehow convinced them she had it. When I left our house in January, I couldn't find my passport. I suspect she still has it. I'm waiting to hear back from the fertility clinic. I'm panicking and trying to understand the possible legal consequences. Could she go to prison? Would the clinic face action? And what happens once the baby is born? Edit we're in England. Follow-up I finally spoke with the clinic manager. Turns out, this might be more on me than anyone else. After our last failed embryo transfer, we both signed paperwork for another attempt. But later, she developed some hormonal complications, so we agreed to pause the process. Apparently, the clinic just kept the paperwork active for up to 3 years and held our deposit. We never officially cancelled the transfer. 6 weeks ago, she went ahead with it. The forms were still valid. I never told the clinic we were separating, which might have made a difference. In our 4 previous transfers, both of us had to show ID and sign paperwork on the day. I didn't think it was even possible to proceed without that. Now, I'm 200 miles away and wondering if the courts might grant me primary custody given everything that's happened. If there are any developments, I'll share them.